Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Edwin, and this is Love in Cars. Welcome. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you for liking and thank you for subscribing on this channel. Today we're talking about an interesting topic: the difference between a demo car and a used, pre-owned or second-hand car. What is different between the two? What's the benefit of buying either of them? First, let's start discussing what exactly is a demo car. So without any further ado, let me just get straight into the business. A demo car is a used car that is not registered by an owner, but registered by a certain company or a certain dealership. They usually use the car for showroom in order to give people make a test drive on that particular new model that actually came out in that specific year. Or it might be used by the bosses or the top management of that particular company in order to transport them from one area to another instead of them using their own car. So basically it's a used car but a low mileage car that has never been registered or to one owner but to a specific company, and it must have specific categories for it to fall and to be called a demo car by that particular company. Different companies use different ways of measurement in order to make their car qualify to be called a demo car. But basically, that's how it is. It is a used car, but it has never been registered or owned by one single person. For example, if it's a Volkswagen do use their own cars in order to transport the customers that are actually bringing their cars for service, taking them to work, because they would have taken their cars for service and they will need transportation from that specific place to their location of work. So the cars that are actually used by Volkswagen employees in that particular dealership will soon or later on become a demo car and placed on the floor room for it to be sold. So that actually falls under the category of what we call a demo car. So because it has traveled and has undergone specific miles, the value of that particular car drops. It cannot be priced the same as a new car. Remember, new cars are expensive because they're new from the car factory and they have to be registered. So that's a little bit expensive when you are buying that particular car. And remember, when you're financing a new car, it's more expensive than financing a used car or a demo car. But the model and the condition of that particular car will determine what the insurance charges you when it comes to insuring that particular car. And when it comes to pre-owned or a used car, that is a second hand that have been owned by a particular person who have driven the car for quite some time, and then after driving that car, sold it either to the dealership or personally to another person, or repossessed by the bank when that particular person cannot afford to pay that car anymore, therefore being sold into auction and dealerships buying that car, putting it back into the car lot for it to be sold. Now, used car are usually more advantageous to buy because they cost less compared to demo cars. My personal experience has taught me that demo cars are overpriced used car that necessarily don't even deserve to have such specific amount of money. If it was me personally or any other person owning that particular car and wanting to sell it to that dealership in the very same price that they are selling that car, the dealership would refuse to buy that car at that price because they want to make money on top of the money that you are requesting from them. So demo cars are usually overpriced and overcharged, but they're cheaper compared to the brand new cars. So people usually go for demo cars because they feel like they're still under warranty and service plan and they haven't been driven for so many mileage. Therefore, it gives them a peace of mind when they're buying it. When it comes to me, on the other hand, I'm a cheap guy. I like used cars, but there are specific things that I actually look at before I buy that particular used car. So a used car has its own advantages and disadvantages. The advantages are it costs less. For example, if you buy a 2016 model this year, it costs almost half as it would have costed me if I had purchased this car in 2016, which means I get the Highline with all its trims and specification, but at a lower price compared to what I would have paid if I bought that car in the very same year or model that it came out. Now, all 2020 cars, I will buy them in 2026 because by then the price would have just gone down and the car is still on its climax because you can still squeeze up a couple of years or 10 years out of that specific engine before the car start dying on you. So buying used cars actually is a good thing if you ask me. But I see and I think the disadvantage is coming out now because now a lot of dealership realize that people are going to the used car market due to the rising fuel prices and the cost of living. So people want to go cheap and buy used cars as much as they can. So dealership are capitalizing on that one, then putting the price of the used cars up there in the sky. But however, if you have to choose between a used car and a demo car, think twice and do research on which type of cars would actually work for you and which one do you actually need. If you want to pay less on insurance and you want to pay less on monthly installment, then you should go for a used or a second-hand car. However, if you want more peace of mind, service plan and warranty included in that particular car, but in a less price compared to a new car, then you should go to a demo car. Ladies and gentlemen, that's exactly what I had for you on Loving Cars. My name is Edwin. Catch you next time. Bye-bye.